Good day, CCF family. Welcome to Sunday Fast Track, where you ask real-life questions and we give you biblical truths. My name is Unica Amor Gorin Suezo from Exalt Choir, and we're here today with Brother Paul to answer some of your questions. Good day, Brother Paul. Thank you for your wonderful message. How are you feeling today?
Feeling better, feeling good. Thank you.
That's good. All right, let's answer some of the questions here. So, doing things joyfully and in humble submission is part of our testimony as Christians. When we find ourselves upholding certain principles, how can we balance between standing for what is right and avoiding a spirit of complaining or grumbling?
I think, the grumbling spirit, it really comes out of almost distrust of who God is. But the first part of the question is like, you're standing for principles. And as Christians, we're really called to stand up for truth and what is right. You can actually stand up for truth without having that critical lack of trust in God's spirit. I think the danger is a lot of times we get so passionate about what we believe, and we maybe say things in a way that comes across as critical. So I would really pray for wisdom how you post things. But when you talk to a person face to face, I think that's the best way where you can actually confront truth, because you can do it in a way that's loving and truthful at the same time without that grumbling attitude.
Okay, very practical. So for the next question, you mentioned the importance of unity and working together, which we have a privilege of practicing in our discipleship groups. But for those who have been deeply wounded in church and now refuse to be involved in discipleship, how can we reach out to them with genuine concern and help them return?
It is unfortunate that there are people that have truly been hurt by people in church. And so I think there's two groups here, right? One is the person that's hurt. And so if you're that person, I would ask Jesus to give me heart and perspective towards his church. People are imperfect. And you need to know that, Jesus, he's always going to be at work, even in your heart. But when we withdraw completely, then we put ourselves in a situation where we can really be devoured by the enemy. And Satan is waiting for those opportunities. And so to know that God has created us for community, I would ask, if I was that person that was hurt, I'd say, Lord, just please give me the grace and the ability to forgive. And I choose to forgive because I know people aren't perfect. And I am not going to make a judgment call based on one encounter that I had or several encounters, because not everybody in church is gonna hurt you, right? There's a lot of great people in church. And so if you're that person, I would say, hey, come back, because there's so much that God wants to do in and through the community that he's placed around you. Now, if you're a person who, maybe hurt somebody, or somebody that's hurt, I would just show love and be patient. Don't be in a hurry for them to respond to you. I think sometimes we get impatient. We're like, hey, I've done so much for this person. How come they're not responding? Why aren't they answering my texts? Why aren't they coming back? And then we just get tired. But the Bible also says, don't grow weary in doing good. In due time, you'll reap the harvest. So keep praying for the person that's hurt and keep showing unconditional Christ-like love. Really go out of your way to make up for the hurt that they've experienced, and to trust that Jesus is the one that's at work in their heart. You can't change their heart, so you don't have to carry that burden, but you do your part.
Yes, we have to do our part. So for the next question, if Jesus has already provided the perfect example of love, humility, and sacrifice, why do we still need to work out our salvation? Isn't our salvation already complete through his finished work?
Yes, our salvation is complete, but I'm not complete. I mean, if you look at your own life, I have so much of my life that I still need to become more like Christ. And so when he says to work out your salvation, it's like you living out who you are. Because you are saved, hey, you need to grow, right? It's not like you take a magic pill and all of a sudden you're like Christ. I have such bad habits. I have pride, greed, the things that I wrestle with, that God continues to be at work in me. So my role is to cooperate with the work of Christ in my life. And that's why he says, hey, work out your salvation.
That's true. We're all a work in progress, right? So for the last question, in the spirit of Love Month, what is your love advice for everyone, no matter what season they are in?
So if I were to give love advice, I would have to go back to the source of love. And so my advice is we all need to grow in love. And how do you grow in love? The closer that we come to Jesus, the more we'll understand how to really show love, whether we be married or parents or children or you're in a relationship. You know, if you really love Jesus, you will honor God in all of those relationships. So as a child to a parent, if boyfriend and girlfriend, you're going to honor God. You're going to follow his design. You're going to protect each other because he is the author and the source of love. And so we experience love most and joy most when we follow his design.
It's true. Thank you for answering our questions, Brother Paul. But wait, before we go, we have a special podcast prepared for all of you this Love Month entitled Love, Expectation versus Reality. We'll have these wonderful speakers answer some of the most asked questions about love, dating, marriage, and more. Tune in now to CCF On Air to watch and learn about love. And that's it for CCF Sunday Fast Track. God bless.
God bless.